Okay, settling in, coming to your practice. Finding the breath. Using your next exhale to release into the support beneath you. Aware of the earth as the foundation. Aware of the breath. Aware of the rhythm of your breath. Aware of the vast sky above you. Of the earth beneath you. And the breath that guides you between the two. As we settle into our practice of yoga, the uniting of the mind, the body, and the spirit, bringing us back into balance so that we can move from a place of peace, inviting you to move through your practice with awareness, to pay attention on purpose in the present moment without judgment. Something I've been working on in my meditation and life practice, paying attention on purpose in the moment without judgment. It's the last part that's the hardest, right? It's the first part that we start with, paying attention, so we're aware of the earth beneath us, the vast sky above us, and the breath guiding us, and the beating of our hearts. We're directing our attention to this. In this moment, we're resting on the earth with the breath guiding us and the vast sky above us. Our thoughts are like the vast sky, right? We have vastness of our thoughts. The breath that's always there, just like the earth beneath us. And we notice with the wise heart how we feel in this moment, without any judgment. Using wise effort to move from thinking to feeling to knowing. To know the earth beneath us, to know the vast sky above us, to know the breath that guides us, to know our hearts, and to rest in that space. Everything we need is right here with us, in us. As we move into the physical practice, to always become aware of the foundation that we move from, the space that we move into, the breath that guides us, tapping into how we feel. And then settling into the balance of the pose. Find the wise heart in the stillness. So maybe setting an intention for your practice today. What is your heart's desire? Shortening that to a word or a phrase and placing it in an I am statement. Repeating it softly to yourself a few times as if it were true and already happening. And then gently drawing the focus, the awareness back to watching the breath. Just noticing where the inhales settle today at this moment in your body. Where the body resting on the earth and releasing, softening into that support so that the breath can move a little deeper, to let go of the efforting. To find the inhales washing over you like a wave, and then receding with the exhale. 3 rounds of breath like this, deep inhales, allowing the breath to wash over you, and exhaling, softening away. Breath that comes from the earth and recedes back into the earth. With your next inhale, allow the arms to extend out to the side or overhead, reaching into the fingertips, but finding that place of balance, finding the ease in this simple pose. Aware of the opening through the heart space, through the length of the body. With your next exhale, maybe bending at the elbows to tap the fingertips to the upper chest if your arms are out to the side, or they're floating to either side of the hips if they're overhead. Moving in and out of this, inhaling, expanding, reaching, opening, exhaling, softening. Moving slowly, mindfully, paying attention on purpose in this moment without any judgment. Using wise effort without an extra ounce of extra effort. Adding the feet, the ankles, rolling or flexing and pointing as that suits you. For just 3 more rounds of breath, moving organically in your body to gently start to open and become aware of what you've brought to your practice this morning. The thoughts that tug at you, the feelings that settle, just noticing without judgment, and then gently coming back to the breath and coming to stillness here. If you're seated, maybe coming to lie onto your back. With your next inhale, deep breath. With your exhale, gathering the belly to draw one knee and then the other in for a hug. Maybe resting here in stillness, aware of any sensation in the back body. Maybe moving slowly side to side. Moving with the breath. And then finding stillness there, allowing the left foot to float to the floor and keeping the right knee drawing in. Soften through the shoulders. No efforting in the arms. Just a gentle offering for that thigh to come a little closer as you exhale, as you feel a release or some space. Breathing in, breathing out. With your next inhale, allow that leg to extend straight up out of the hip socket, heel reaching to the ceiling, toes reaching down towards the earth. And then make some circles through the ankle, 3 times in one direction, 3 times around in the other, as you move slowly and mindfully with the breath. Moving with intention, finding stillness there, fan the toes out, curl them in. All familiar to your body. There is a memory. Can you find the breath and soften and finding stillness there? With your exhale, the knee draws into the chest. With your inhale, it extends straight up. Exhaling, 2 more rounds of breath like this. Just noticing. Aware of sensation without attaching to it. Meeting your body with the breath, finding stillness with the next inhale, crossing that ankle over the thigh. Keeping the foot flexed, offering the right knee to soften away from you. Find the breath. Maybe you have some space to walk that left heel a little closer. Maybe it's in your practice to take the bind. Maybe you're resting in the stillness, following the breath, letting go of the efforting. Maybe with the exhale, both knees float a little to the left. With your inhale, they float up to center. Just offering a lengthening through the right side body and opening into that hip. Softening of the muscles that run down the back body. Engaging the muscles in the core that allow you to come safely into this twist, and then coming up to stillness. Exhale, root the sacrum to the earth. Inhale, leg extends, and we float that leg to the earth, bent knee or straight leg. Letting the left leg extend straight out alongside of it. And scanning the back body with the breath. What do you notice? What do you feel? Without judgment. Maybe one side rests on the earth a little different than the other. With your exhale, the right knee bends and the foot comes to the floor, and the left knee draws in for a hug. Interlacing the fingers in back of the thigh, maybe over the shin, but the shoulders are soft and there's no efforting of, or over efforting of drawing that thigh close. Exhaling, maybe there's space for it to move a little closer. How does that feel? What do you notice? Meet the body with the breath. With your next exhaling, releasing the bind as you root the belly to the earth. Inhale, extend the heel. Straight up. So equal weight in both hips. Toes draw down towards the earth, lengthening through the back of the leg, the bottom of the foot, the entire back body. Do you notice how's the breath? With your exhale, the knee draws to the chest, thigh to belly. Inhale, extending into the heel. Moving in and out with your breath. Practicing to pay attention on purpose in this moment without judgment. Using wise effort, even in these familiar poses, coming to stillness with the inhale, keeping that foot flexed and crossing the ankle over the thigh. Did we not make circles? Yeah, we didn't make circles, did we? Let's inhale that leg straight up again and just make some circles through the ankle, one direction and then the other. Maybe notice the sides a little different, and then fanning the toes out and curling them in. Nice. And then keeping the foot flexed and crossing the ankle over the thigh. And then scanning your body with your breath. Where do you need to let go of the efforting? Where can you soften with those exhales? Maybe you have space to walk that right heel a little closer to the sitting bone, offering that left knee to move away from you. Breath in, breath out. Maybe with your exhale, you're floating both knees over to the right, taking the bind if that suits you to lift that right foot. Your practice, you know what works for you. I'm only offering suggestions. You get to take it or leave it. Nice. And the next time you inhale up, find stillness, extending through that left heel one more time. And maybe with a straight leg, maybe a bent knee, you allow that left leg to come to rest onto the earth. And the right leg comes to meet it. And you scan your body with your breath. And just notice. We say in yoga and other therapies also that we hold our issues in our tissues. We talk about broken hearts and clenched jaws and tight fists, reflecting something in the pit of the belly, or our bodies respond. As we become aware, move mindfully, we can let go of the efforting in our bodies, get in touch with the feelings without judgment, find a little more peace, see life a little clearer. With your exhale, rolling over onto one side or the other, using your arm as a pillow. So we draw the knees up in the direction of the chest. We allow maybe the shoulders to come a little forward of the hips. The forehead to come towards the knees without closing off the throat. To round through the entire spine, from the base of the head, the skull, to the tip of the tailbone. Then the breath moves into that space. Aware of the softening as the breath moves in, of the opening of the muscles. To allow the breath to fill, aware as the breath is gently hugged out. Aware of the earth beneath us. Aware of the vast sky above us. And the breath that guides us. With your exhale, gather the pit of the belly to engage the core so that we're not only pressing into the earth, but we're using the core muscles to draw us up and then over onto all fours. Coming into tabletop. Finding the foundation that makes you feel safe, secure, and supported. Wrist creases just in front of the shoulders. Heads of the fingers resting on the earth. Maybe you feel a little dome in the palm of the hand as you activate the hand, and then the arms and the muscles that wrap around the shoulders to keep you safe. Gazing to the earth, one straight line down the back body with its natural curves, and the front body supports the back body. In your tabletop with awareness of the breath, awareness of any sensation that doesn't suit you, modifying the pose, patting the knees, walking the knees wider, the arms further forward, softening the jaw, finding the breath. With your exhale, starting with pelvic tilts, allowing the tailbone to tuck and dip towards the heels. With your inhale, tailbone lifts to the ceiling. Keeping everything else quiet if possible, just allowing the tailbone to tuck, the belly to hug in and up, and the tailbone to lift, the belly to soften towards the earth. And then with your next inhale, the tailbone lifts and maybe the heart reaches between the arms. And with your exhale, the tailbone tucks and the spine starts to lift, extend towards the ceiling. No efforting. Inhale, tailbone lifts, belly softens, heart reaches between the arms, maybe gently lifting your gaze as you move slowly, mindfully, with intention in and out of your cat and cow. Maybe dropping the top of the head with the exhale. No effort, just allowing for that natural wave of motion up and down the spine, along with the wave of breath that guides you. Breath starts, we start with the tailbone, move slowly with awareness up the back body to the crown of the head. Holding that gaze again, starting with the tailbone. Without judging. Just noticing as we practice here. Let go of the efforting, to move with awareness, to allow the body to soften. The next time you inhale, find a neutral spine. Let the knees walk the width of the mat and the big toes touch. With your exhale, we draw the hip creases to reach back as we reach, the arms extend. Find stillness there. Inhale, heart, it reaches away from the belly. Exhale, we bow down to the earth, allowing the third eye, the forehead, to make contact with something. Where do the thoughts go as you rest in stillness? Not judging them, it's just the practice of bringing awareness to the thoughts, moving into feeling, and then the knowing. The I that is always knowing. The me, the we. We are right here, supported by the earth, breathing into the wise heart that it's always there. Choosing to become aware. To honor our thoughts and feelings. And move with wise effort. With your next exhale, gather the belly and inhale up onto all fours. Extending that left leg straight back, curling the toes under, keeping the shoulders right where they are, just in back of the wrist. Reaching into that extended heel. Find the foundation, exhale, belly gathers, hips stay facing the earth as you extend that left leg straight out of the hip, lifting towards the ceiling. Breathing in, breathing out. Committing to that left arm so that you can experiment with inhaling the right arm alongside your ear. Softening that arm in the shoulder socket, rooting into the left hand, the right foot, extending through that left heel, reaching that leg a little higher, maybe. With your next exhale, drawing the knee and the elbow together under the body, maybe. Inhaling, extending. Maybe that right hand comes to the floor and you're just drawing the knee in and extending that leg straight in back of you. What works today for you? What feels right? Letting the breath guide you with a secure foundation and the support that comes with using the breath to guide you, moving slowly with awareness, with intention. Nice. The next time you inhale, find stillness in that expression of the pose. Find the breath. Find an easeful place to be. And with your exhale, that right hand and left knee come back down to the earth. Wag your tail, take some hip circles, let that go. Still moving slowly, mindfully, with intention. And then finding your tabletop again, setting up the foundation, the support that you need. And extending, inhaling that right leg straight back, keeping everything else still and peaceful. As you reach into that heel, you feel that lengthening and opening. Exhaling to support and inhaling to reach that leg towards the ceiling. Strong, active leg. Left hip crease, still drawing back and in. Committing to that right hand. Maybe you have space to inhale the left arm alongside your ear. The arm is soft in the shoulder socket. You're reaching back through that right heel, forward through the fingertips, and up towards the ceiling. Without creating a deep back bend, the front ribs support the back body, or the muscles reach the front ribs up. With your exhale, maybe the elbow and the knee come together or in that direction. Inhaling, extending. Finding the breath and what works for you, modifying to meet your body wherever it is today, without judgment. Practicing to keep the focus on the breath that initiates the movement, to allow the thoughts to settle, to be aware of what you're feeling, and to meet it with kindness and compassion. And then finding stillness in that next inhale in the fullest expression of the pose right now, today. Soften there. And exhale, release. Coming up over the knees or hips and shoulders over the knees and rolling through those shoulders, big circles. And soften them down the back and together and breathe into this opening and reach the heel of the hands forward as you extend the arms, fingertips to ceiling, right? Exhale, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, fingertips to ceiling. No efforting, simple movement linked with breath. Opening up, letting go. Nice. And then shake it out, let it go. Inhale the arms up into goddess. And find your cat claws and fling them open. Soften the jaw, the shoulders, the breath. Sitting onto the heels or staying up over the knees, whichever works for you. But always with awareness and keeping the core engaged. The integrity of the pose. Yes, shake it out, let it go. Nice. Coming to stand up onto the knees if you aren't. Tops of the feet flat onto the earth, all 10 toes. Inhale, the arms float out, around, and up, and settle in the shoulder sockets, gazing forward, softening the chin to the notch in the collarbone. With your exhale, palms flip as the hip creases reach back, straight spine. Nice. Inhale, coming up, not thrusting the hips forward, not extending out of the shoulder sockets. Exhale, belly gathers, shoulder blades slide together, heart reaches forward, not collapsing the front body. Keeping a long spine, length from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. Smoothing out the edges to find a graceful flow that works for you. Next time you inhale up, find stillness there, and exhale, float the hands down to either side, roll through those shoulders. Inhale the shoulders to the ears, exhale, let them drop. Inhaling up, exhaling, softening. Walking or exhaling yourself forward into that tabletop, and then walking your hands forward, one hand print. Curling the toes under. Preparing for downward facing dog. What happens when I give you that cue? Can you let go of any expectation? Root into the palms of the hands. The shoulders slide away from the ears. As you exhale, as if you could slide the top of the mat away from you, the arms extend and the hips reach back. Pause there. Soften, breathe. Exhale, gather the pit of the belly. Lift the knees and then straighten into them. Lift the hips up and back, and then walk your dog. Bending deeply one knee and then the other. Coming onto forearms if this doesn't work for you. Maybe not straightening the knees, staying down on the knees and just feeling, becoming aware of lengthening of the back body. Reaching those hip creases up and back as you come into stillness in your downward dog. One more big inhale here. Exhale, slowly lowering the knees back down to the earth and finding child pose. Resting in the stillness, moving slowly with intention. Keeping the length through the back body. Softening through the hips. Allowing gravity to bring the body closer to the earth as you let go of the gripping intention of the efforting. To allow the back body to regain its length as the muscles let go and the breath moves a little deeper. Breathing into the back of the heart. Aware of the graceful movement as the lungs fill and then release, empty. Breathing into the wings of the heart. preparing for another downward facing dog or modifying, so that now you're walking the arms to come into an extended child pose, just lifting the hips enough to curl the toes under and then coming back into that extended child pose. Reaching into the pads of the fingers, the arms are active, the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, belly gathers, knees lift. Maybe you hover there for a minute, pressing into the mat, reaching into the hip creases, and then straightening through the knees and walking out your dog, or coming into stillness with soft knees. Not efforting into the backs of the knees to allow for that lengthening through the back body. 2 more rounds of breath in your expression of downward dog, child pose, puppy. Find that length through the back body, gaze forward between the hands. And step or walk that right foot forward, let the left knee come to the floor. So that you're in a bent right knee, lunge, low lunge. Soften the shoulder blades down the back. If you have blocks, you might want to place them underneath your hands. If you don't have blocks in the future, you can always get books, right? Soften there. Inhale the heart away from the belly button. The gaze is forward and down so that you have a nice long back of the neck. Breathing into the left hip crease, the quadriceps, yes. Rooting into the right leg, the top of the left foot. Shoulder blades slide away, and with your next inhale, lift the heart a little more to where the wall meets the ceiling. Let's soften the chin to the notch in the collarbone. Nice. With your exhale, the right hip crease draws back as you straighten into that left leg. Inhale, coming forward, heart lifts. Moving slowly, mindfully with intention. Paying attention on purpose without judgment. Maybe today is a little different than the last time you did lunges. Maybe that was a month ago. You're aware of this difference without any judgment. And the next time you inhale into that low lunge, find stillness there. Exhale, activate the foundation, root down into that right foot. Inhale, lift the heart away from the thighs, let the shoulders slide over the hips. Maybe you need to straighten or not bend that right knee so much. How does that feel? Maybe you're staying right here. Maybe you're able to inhale the arms up overhead, softening them into the shoulder sockets. But inhaling, finding length as the ribs slide away from the hips. Finding a gazing point. Maybe goddess feels better than arms extended alongside the ears. Find what works for you. Draw the right hip crease back. Exhale, maybe you hug the hip bones up to have a deeper opening into that left hip quadricep. Noticing the breath. Nice. With your exhale, hinge forward, heart comes to thigh. With your inhale, coming up. Nice. Exhale, hinging forward. Maybe the arms extend straight in back of you. With your inhale, floating up. One more time like this, aware of the right hip crease reaching back, of the heart extending forward, not collapsing the front body. Coming to stillness here, exhaling, hands float to the floor. so that you can step that right knee back and shake it out, let it go. And then find your tabletop again to exhale that left foot forward between the hands and settling into a low lunge on this side. To breathe into the right hip crease. Shoulder blades slide down the back and together for a deep opening. Rooting into the earth allows you to inhale and lengthen the heart away from the belly button. To reach the sternum to where the wall meets the ceiling. To find the full extension through the entire front body. From that right hip crease to the crown of the head. With your next exhale, the left hip crease draws back as you straighten into that leg. With your inhale, coming forward. Exhaling, left hip crease back. Inhale, forward. Heart lifts. Last time, drawing back. And inhaling into stillness here. Rooting into that left foot. With your inhale, allowing the heart to float away from the thighs, soften through the shoulders. Maybe staying here, maybe inhaling the arms overhead, softening them into the shoulder sockets or allowing them to come into goddess. Aware of the left hip drawing back. Aware of the belly exhaling up. Lifting the hip bones. To deepen that opening in the right hip. Yes. With your exhale, hinging forward, so we're not bending in the back body or front body, but hinging at the hips. Inhale, floating up. Maybe the arms extend, the shoulder blades slide together as you fold forward. Hinge forward. Inhale. Moving slowly, mindfully, with intention from the foundation of the earth. Smoothing out the edges to find grace and ease in the flow, in the pose, coming to stillness with your next inhale, finding the lengthening of the ribs floating out of the hips, of the shoulders softening down the back. Exhale, core supports you to float those hands to the earth so you can step that right knee back, left knee back. Get some movement, take some hip circles, roll through the wrists, the shoulders. What do you need to do? What is your body asking for? Where were you gripping or holding? Deep breath in, sigh the breath out. Find your tabletop. Find the long spine from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. Allow the breath to find its rhythm. With your exhale, reach the hip creases back. Root into the palms of the hands. Inhale, hip creases up and back as you straighten those knees. 2 rounds of breath in your downward dog, your expression of downward dog. And then gazing forward between the hands to bend the knees and walk the hands and feet together. To inhale into half forward fold, drawing the shoulder blades to the center of the back. Lengthening the sternum away from the belly button, parallel to the earth, rooted through the soles of the feet. Strong legs, even breath. Elbows reaching towards the ceiling, shoulder blades to the center of the back. Rooting into the feet with your inhale, coming all the way up to stand. Maybe the arms extend up overhead. With your exhale, hinge forward, maybe swan dive into half forward fold, soften the knees. Inhale, lengthening there. Exhale, maybe you're able to hinge closer to the earth, but you're keeping that length of sternum extending away from the belly button. Soften the back of the neck. Find the foundation through the feet and the strong legs. And inhale all the way up to stand. Exhale, bring it through the heart center. Inhaling, arms float out, around, and up. Exhaling, we hinge forward from the hips, softening the knees. Inhale, lengthening there. Exhaling, maybe we hinge a little closer. Inhaling, shoulder blades slide together and down the back. Exhaling, maybe you gently straighten into the backs of the knees. Without locking them, just aware of the sensation in the back of the thighs and the belly of the muscle, not the joints of the knees. Allowing for that extension and lengthening from the crown of the head all the way down to the soles of the feet. The entire back body supported and allowed to lengthen. And the breath moves freely. Deeply bending the right knee, straightening the left. Maybe you're hinging up to parallel to the earth if you folded more. With your next inhale, the left knee bends, the right knee straightens. Noticing as you move from side to side without locking. Smoothing out the edges as you bend and straighten. Moving into the back of the leg, the glutes, maybe even you feel this in the lower back. What sensation do you feel? Do you need to back out of it? Is the breath still smooth? Is the body movement graceful? Is there efforting in the shoulders and the back of the neck? Are the shoulders still together in the center of the back? If you rest the hands on the thighs, you can feel that. Yes. As you bend one leg and straighten the other, just in the hip socket, keeping a long spine and a relatively still thoracic body, just noticing, can you isolate, coming to stillness. Bending both knees, root into the earth. With your inhale, coming all the way up to stand. Exhale, bring it to the heart center. Let the fingertips extend to the earth, finding your expression of mountain pose at the top of your mat. Breath in, breath out. Land in your feet, hips distance. So that the inner heel is right under those hip bones. You feel safe and support, and you're aware of the earth beneath you. Lengthening the crown of the head to the vast sky above you with the breath that guides you in between the two. Finding the breath, softening with the exhales. Aware of sensation in the palms of your hands. Aware of the beating heart. With your inhale, activate the hands as they extend and open towards the earth without efforting. Root into the feet, aware of the muscles in the legs, gathering to hug to the bone to support you. Inhaling, the right arm extends alongside the ear, soften the left shoulder. Root into the feet, keep weight in that right foot as you exhale over to the left to find extension in that side body. Inhale up to center. Exhale, keep the length, don't collapse the left side body. Bring awareness to the right side body. To that opening, to the lengthening up and over. The next time you come over, find stillness. Soften that right arm into the socket again. Commit to the foundation. Inhale, ribs float away from the hips so that maybe you find space to exhale a little deeper. Then find the breath in the right ribs, in the muscles that expand and open to allow the lungs to fill. With your next exhale, the belly gently gathers. And with your inhale, you float all the way up and soften that right arm alongside your body and roll through those shoulders and shake it out and let it go. And commit to that foundation again, rooting into the earth, lengthening the crown of the head to the sky and inhaling the left arm alongside your ear. The arm softens in the shoulder socket and you're aware of the legs that support you, of the core that allows you to lengthen, and exhaling over to the left side. Inhaling up to center or right, it doesn't matter. Inhaling up, exhaling over, as long as you're opposite. Nice, moving mindfully with intention, with awareness, keeping the foundation, the length through the back body, the soft shoulders and jaw, the breath that guides you, and then coming over and finding stillness, committing to the foundation, softening the arm in the shoulder socket, softening the opposite arm. Inhale, finding a little more length. Exhale, maybe you're able to find some space to hinge deeper. The breath moves into the ribs on the left side. With your exhale, the belly gathers. With your inhale, coming all the way up and floating that arm down, and rolling through the shoulders, big circles, softening them down the back. Stepping to the top of your mat if you're not already there. Equal weight in both feet as you root into the circumference of the heels. You're able to lengthen through the crown of the head and find softness there. Allowing the weight to shift into or over that left leg so that you can step, slide, or walk that right foot back. Warrior One, front facing pose. With your next exhale, settle the hips straight down as you bend into the left leg. Reaching to lengthen through the back of the right leg as you root down into the heel. As you root into the sole of the left foot so that you can inhale and lift the ribs out of the hips and soften the shoulders. The palms float together to the heart center. Breathing into the heart space. Soften the jaw. Nice. Inhale there. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Keep reaching the heart away from the belly button. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hinging from the hip. Nice. Inhale all the way up. Shoulders stay together on the back body. Broad opening across the collarbone. Aware of that heart space. Keeping a long spine. Nice. Next time you inhale up, find stillness there. Float the left arm to the hip and inhale that right arm alongside your ear. Soften there, root down, lengthen up. Do you still feel safe, secure, supported? Do you have to adjust your foundation? Moving with awareness, inhale, extending through the fingertips of the right hand without popping out of the shoulder socket. Exhale, bending the elbow, bringing it towards the left knee, but keeping length through the front body. Hands come together at the heart center wherever you are, floating above that thigh, or maybe you have space to bring that elbow to the thigh. Honor your body. Shoulders soften, heart lengthens away from the belly button. You can use the bind of the palms of the hands together to reach through the elbows. Exhale there. Inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. Exhale, maybe you have space to turn the heart to the left towards the ceiling. Nice. Inhale to a straight spine. Exhale all the way up. Inhale, step that back foot forward. Breathe, soften, find your Tadasana again. Take a few rounds of breath here. What do you notice as you scan your body? How's the breath? Do you need to even it out? Can you let go of any efforting with your exhales? How are you in the pose in this moment? How are you being in the pose? Can you find an easeful way to be in mountain pose? And we take that mindfulness into our warrior one on the other side, allowing the weight to shift over the right leg so we can step, walk, slide the left foot back, and then find a foundation that suits us. Inhaling there, exhaling, hips settle straight down to bend into that right knee, yes? Breathing in, breathing out. Aware of the earth beneath you, of the foundation through the soles of the feet and the active legs, so that you can find a lightness through the crown of the head. And the breath moves freely. Inhaling, the palms of the hands float to the heart center. Use that soft bind of the hands to become aware of the space across the collarbone, of the shoulder blades. And we lead with the heart to exhale and hinge forward from the hips, keeping that long spine to press into the earth and inhale all the way up to stand. To keep the connection through the left heel, to find a lengthening through the left side, and to inhale all the way up. What do you notice as you move slowly, mindfully, with intention, with awareness in this moment? The next time you inhale up, find stillness, find the foundation again, recommit, allow the arms to extend to the earth. With your inhale, the left arm floats alongside your ear, lengthening through that left side body. With your exhale, the heart twists towards the right knee as the elbow comes towards that knee. And then the palms meet at the heart center, elbows extending, shoulder blades together on the back. Chin in alignment with the notch of the collarbone with the fingertips. Root into those strong legs. Lengthen through the core body. As you inhale, finding that length. As you exhale, maybe the heart lifts towards the ceiling for a deeper stretch. Maybe not. What do you notice? What do you feel? How's the breath? Exhale into the foundation. Inhale, straight spine, all the way up. Slowly, mindfully, with intention. Nice. Exhale, step that back foot forward. Shake it out, let it go. Maybe walking the hips a little bit wider and taking some hip circles. And reversing those circles. And then finding feet hips distance to root into your Tadasana. Maybe one hand comes to the upper chest and you connect with the breath. Moving from thinking to feeling to knowing. Letting the thoughts go, becoming aware of the breath and the wise heart. One breath flowing into the next, smoothing out the edges, finding the grace. Allowing both hands to reach, extend towards the earth. And then stepping one foot to the back of the mat, not sure which way you want to face, walking the feet nice and wide. So the edges of the feet are parallel to the edges of the mat. And then allowing the right foot to pivot on the heel so the toes are perpendicular. And maybe the left heel is out a little further than the toes. Your practice, what feels good for you. Knowing what foundation works for you. Working towards the length of the legs so that if you inhale and extend the arms, are the wrists over the ankles someday. Nice wide open hips allow you to come into the fullest expression. Rooting into those strong legs. With your exhale, the hips settle straight down again as you bend into the knee to keep a stacked spine. Knee drawing to the room in back of you. The core lengthening you out of the hips. Shoulders soft, breath smooth. Inhaling, reach through the fingertips. Gaze over the extended right hand. Soften that gaze. Find the breath. Strong and gentle in your warrior. Finding the ease, resting in stillness. Finding the grace as we move in and out of our warriors. With your inhale, the right palm floats up, the left hand down, soften there. Lengthening with the inhale to find space to flow into your peaceful warrior. Finding the breath with your next inhale, floating back into your peaceful warrior. Foundation is the same, hips are still. Hinging through the core body as we inhale, floating up and then back to open through the right side body. Inhaling, floating into your warrior two. Exhaling, landing in the foundation so that you can inhale into your peaceful warrior. Moving in and out with your breath, and only you know what feels right for you. Half breaths, rounds of breaths. allowing you to settle into the stillness of the pose, maybe for a breath. And then when you're ready, flowing into the next, smoothing out the edges, paying attention on purpose in this moment, so that you keep the foundation, so that you're aware of what you're feeling and backing out of anything that doesn't feel right. Nice. Last time, ending in your warrior two, finding stillness there, rooting down, lengthening up, shoulder blades slide together, reaching, lengthening across the collarbones. Maybe you can activate the arms, straighten through that right leg, walking or pivoting both feet to be at an angle. So maybe they're pointing to the corners of the mat, not perpendicular, not forward. Bringing the arms into goddess. And exhaling as you bend into the knees, the hips settle down. Inhaling, straightening without locking the knees. Exhaling, tailbone straight down, long spine. Inhaling up. Maybe it's only a small movement for you. Be kind, be compassionate. Meet your body wherever it is today with the breath. Aware of over-efforting, of the front ribs popping out, of too much back bend. Finding a neutral spine. And the next time you exhale into your goddess, find stillness there, soften the shoulders. Root into the feet, draw the knees back a little. Exhale, straighten those knees, float the arms down, heel toe the feet together, just shake it out, let it go. Connect with the breath again, land in the soles of the feet. Deep breath in, sigh the breath out, let it go. And then walk the feet wide again. So that the right foot is now parallel with the back of the mat. And the left foot pivots to the top. And we find hips parallel to the floor. Shoulder blades slide down. As we exhale, we settle the hips straight down to bend into that knee. Slowly, mindfully, with intention, moving with awareness of the foundation, of the efforting in the body, finding the ease in the pose as we inhale and reach through the fingertips, and then find a soft gaze over that left hand. How's the breath? Do you still have the foundation? Active legs, lengthening through the crown of the head. Breath in, breath out. Moving into your peaceful warrior with your breath as we float the right hand down and inhale the left arm up to extend through that left side body to find space to come into that peaceful warrior. Inhaling back to our warrior two. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Move with your breath. Your body doesn't matter if it looks different than what I'm doing. It should look different. We all have different bodies. We're all meeting our bodies in a different place. Some are moving faster, slower, but we're all moving without judgment, finding the rhythm of our breath to smooth out the edges, to find the ease in the pose. Move with awareness. The body has the memory, the muscles have the memory. We could just go there And then we lose the foundation, we lose the breath. We retreat into the thoughts. We stop feeling, coming to rest in the expression of warrior two, sorry. Rooting down to lengthen up, aware of the foundation. Soften the arms, float down, that left leg straightens and we heel toe and walk the feet together to find Tadasana, finding a gazing point, softly closing the eyes or softening that gazing point. Fingertips extend towards the earth. The crown of the head reaches to the sky above, and the breath moves between the two. We'll become aware of the breath and how it feels in the body. And we become aware of the wise heart that beats. And the wise effort that it takes to rest in this pose. There is an effort in the body to be in stillness, to let go of the thoughts, to focus on the breath, and to find some peace in the balance of the breath. Two more rounds of breath here. And then stepping to the top of the mat if you're not there. And with your inhale, the arms float out, around, and up. And with your exhale, we hinge forward, finding length through the back body. Inhale, reaching, extending through the crown of the head. Exhale, hinging deeper, deeply bending the knees so we can step one knee back and then the other to find tabletop. Taking a couple of rounds of cat and cow here. Moving with intention, with awareness. Maybe it feels a little different than your first cat and cows. Maybe you're able to go deeper, you're more aware of any tightness or gripping that remains, and you can let that go. And then finding stillness and allowing, coming to sit on your heels if that's okay, letting the hips come to one side and the heels to the other. Coming to sit with bent knees, taking the palms of the hands to the back of the thighs and inhaling, finding length, exhaling, softening through the shoulders. The sitting bones, aware of those sitting bones, rooting to the earth. Keeping a long spine, soft shoulders, easy breath. Aware of the core muscles that keep you reaching up, working against gravity. Belly gathering in and up. And maybe you're opening up to challenge those core muscles to retain that long spine. Maybe you're carving out the belly to roll down towards the earth, coming to elbows, to slowly lower yourself down, moving with intention to come to rest back down onto the earth. Land on the earth with your exhale. Release into that support. Safe, secure, nowhere to go, nothing to do. Resting on the earth, aware of the breath. Moving thinking, to feeling, to knowing. With your exhale, drawing one knee and then the other in for a hug. Getting some movement here, rocking from side to side if that feels good. And then coming into stillness as if you were in an invisible chair, knees over hips. Shoulders slide away from the ears and come flat underneath the heart space. Arms come out into T. With your exhale, one knee and then the other floats over to the right. Maybe you have a prop and you prop up those knees so that you can rest in this twist. Maybe you turn to gaze to the fingertips opposite the knees, allowing the breath to move into the side body. Letting go of all control of the breath. The natural rhythm guides you. Aware of the breath in, aware of the breath out. With your inhale, gazing up to the ceiling. With your exhale, one knee and then the other comes back up to center and then releases over to the opposite side. Aware of the opening across the heart space and down the side body. That opening that the breath fills. Resting in the stillness. With your inhale, gazing up to the ceiling. With your exhale, the knees come back up to center. Taking any final movement to complete your practice and then settling into Shavasana. Not being in a hurry to get there. So complete your practice. And then we'll find rest. Covering up, supporting. And then allowing the body to come to stillness, releasing with the exhale. The earth beneath you, the vast sky above you, the breath that guides you, that draws you back, one breath at a time. Just this moment. Resting in the stillness and the peace. This is the practice of yoga. Move with awareness, paying attention on purpose, in the present moment, without judgment. With wise effort. Guided by the breath and the wise heart. So that when we are in the presence of happiness, we meet it with kindness. So that when we are in the presence of suffering, we meet it with compassion. So that when we are in the presence of virtue, we meet it with joy. And when we are in the presence of non-virtue, we can meet it with equanimity. If we can meet happiness with kindness, we reduce ill will in the world. If we can meet suffering with compassion, we reduce cruelty. If we can meet virtue with joy, we can reduce envy and jealousy. And if we can come to non-virtue with equanimity, we reduce self-righteousness. Training our brains to come from a place of intention, moving from thinking to being to knowing. And then we heal the relationship to the present so that we can experience our true nature, the sacred knowing. We are the one who is knowing. As we know who we are, we will behave skillfully. From thinking to feeling to knowing. Non-attachment to reduce our suffering. Be in the moment. Using the breath to exhale and soften into the support beneath you. Allow the eyes to settle into the back of the head, the jaw to soften, and all the muscles in the face to melt towards the earth. One breath follows the next, with a gentle pause between the two. Aware of the breath. Aware of the earth that supports you, of the vast sky above you, of the breath that guides you, and the wise heart that rests between. Resting in stillness, and I'll be here to guide you out. Slowly becoming aware of your body resting on the earth, becoming aware of the space surrounding you. Gently deepening your inhales and exhales. Slowly bringing your body back from stillness with small, gentle movements. And with a deep awakening inhale, maybe reaching, extending through the fingertips. And then floating the arms to a comfortable position as you bend one knee and then the other to step the feet softly onto the earth. Transitioning here. Feeling more awake and alert with every inhale. Relaxed and peaceful. Ready to embrace the day ahead of you. Using your arm as a pillow, rolling over to one side or the other. Aware of the breath. Allowing it to fill the front and back of the heart space. Breath moving the wings of the heart. Bringing to mind the intention you started your practice with. Repeating that I am statement softly to yourself one more time. With your exhale, gather the belly, press into the earth, keeping the eyes softly closed. Inhale yourself all the way up to a comfortable, easy seated pose. And with your inhale, maybe we reach through the fingertips one more time. And with your exhale, we float the palms together to rest at the heart center. Noticing how the palms meet. Aware of the breath and the beating heart. And we lift our hearts and we bow our heads with the intention that our practice be continuous, that our hearts be steady, that our efforts be of benefit to all beings. May all beings be safe. May they be healthy. May all beings be happy. May they find their freedom. May they know peace. May they walk through the world with ease. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Let's okay, unmute yourselves. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you, Marie.
You're welcome.
See you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday. Enjoy.
Too.